Okay, welcome to Fact versus Fiction, Part 3. So, in this one, they get a client who has a inheritance, but it's guarded by a riddle that they have to solve in order for her to get it. So, do you think that this was fact based in real life or something completely made up? It was completely made up. I have never met anyone who had an inheritance that had to solve a riddle to get to. You might have guessed that. That was a bit more on the unrealistic side of things, but it's okay. We don't read stories because they're realistic necessarily. And so you may know that the main case in this one is a murder at a high school reunion. And so we see the point of views of the kind of key group of people. One of them's a victim and the others are the main suspects. At the cool group in high school. And so I guess my question to you is, did I have a cool group at my high school like this called the Crew? Is this based in fact or fiction? Now, I'm going to say fiction again, but there was, we did have the cool kids at high school. Of course we did. Everyone did. We didn't have a group like that tight, like 8 people who, was so contained. It was a bit of more of a sprawling kind of group of people who were just called the cool kids. So yeah, that was mostly fiction, I think. And then Hamish takes Sophie. So Sophie's dating this guy called Hamish in this, at least for part of it. And he takes her to his high school reunion. She's his date. Do you think that is fact or fiction? Or did that happen in real life? Or did I make it up? Thank goodness that is fiction. If someone did that to me, although I think I wouldn't be as concerned if it was someone else's high school reunion, but if someone sneakily took me to my own high school reunion, I would have a massive problem with that. You couldn't pay me enough to go. There's no way. High school was not fun. I do not want to go back and immediately feel like I'm 15 again. And ugh, no, thank you. Oh, and the final thing, just related to Sophie and her dating again, it's the most, I don't know, entertaining, I think. And without giving, I have to be careful when I do these fact versus fiction. I'm not giving any major plot points away, obviously. But anyway, Sophie's on a date with Hamish, and he's sort of speaking in a low voice, and she can't really hear him very well, and she's sort of both distracted by that and annoyed by that, and then she just spends the whole time listening to his musings, and she's just thinking to herself, ask me a question. Like, why can't you just ask me a question? And she's sort of thinking about how this has happened before, and how she just wonders whether when these guys get home from these dates, whether they realize that they haven't learned anything about their date. They haven't asked them any questions about themselves, what they, and this is very much real. Unfortunately, anyone who is watching this or reading these books and is doing any dating of men, I should say, probably have experienced this. And I did read an article that said that men believe that the way to impress someone is to talk about themselves and sort of talk about how impressive they are. Whereas what women want generally is just to be asked questions and to see some interest in them and their life. And so, yeah, so that was pretty much taken from some Margot thoughts that I've had in the past. Literally thinking, ask me a question, just ask me one question, please. It's kind of incredible. So if there's any fellows, chaps listening to this, if you're wondering what women are thinking, if you're going on and on about yourself, they're thinking, ask me a question. So that's fact versus fiction for book number 3. As of the time of recording this, there are only 2 more to go, books 4 and 5, and so I shall do them next. Bye.